ready?
All right. Episode 12, take 75.
Welcome back.
I'm so excited that we are actually recording off stream, so this won't break again.
Yes,
And then
hopefully. Could always
wouldn't
break.
that fucking suck again? Like now the power just shuts out 10 minutes in. So did we want to keep going over my top 10 lessons or talk about your monastery?
Let's finish this fucking thing.
Okay.
Keep going.
Value is determined by the buyer, not the seller. I talked about the value seesaw, not the value ladder, and just saying how much does your problem cost you. Number 5 was onboarding determines the relationship, and I think this is what a lot of agencies mess up with. A lot of people selling something mess up.
And let's just tell everybody who hasn't seen episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For context, we're going through Jeff's list of things he learned in 2017.
Yep.
And we're just running through that real quick before we get into 2018, what happened then, and our goals for 2019.
Correct. Yeah. And so this is just me looking through the actual slide deck I did live on personal page January 2nd, kind of like just declaring this is what I learned in 2017 and what I want to do for that year. And so now we're just like looking back. Number 5 was onboarding determines the relationship. Again, I assumed everybody did onboarding. Turns out nobody does onboarding. They just like, so how would your business improve? Send me a check for $1,500. Like, that's not how that's supposed to work, right? And I think if you're ever selling something that is more than just a one time and you have to call them back and talk to them, you need to have an onboarding session. Like roofers have estimates. Surgeons have consultations. Agencies have onboarding. And that was like one of the realizations I had is when you came down, you're like, nobody knows how to do onboarding. I was like, everybody knows how to do onboarding. And you're like, no, Jeff, nobody knows how to do onboarding. And it was in 2017, like I really solidified onboarding as like a thing that matters.
Yeah.
And if you onboard correctly, you will land your client. If you fuck up your onboarding, you will never land your client. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And if you do onboarding correctly, they'll stay with you longer.
A lot longer. A lot longer. Number 6, this is like an accidental thing I always do all the time. Failing forward is better than over preparedness. I think this was a problem for Steph, right? Over preparedness all the time will stop you from accomplishing your goals.
Yep. Done is better than perfect.
Done is always better than perfect. And the mastermind I just launched, I launched it on Christmas Eve. Don't ever do that. When I launched it, Stripe was set up incorrectly, so it was charging people $0 instead of $97. There was no pixel, and I think I was using the wrong link, right? But I was like, well, I guess we're going to go live and figure out what the fuck is missing. And once I realized going live and then fixing it, it removes all the hanging chats. It's like, just go hunting, and then you're going to figure it out like as you're killing the bear. It works just fine. And then it turns out those 4 things, by the way, it require like 15 minutes of fixing.
Yeah.
And then it was live.
Yeah, I think for my Black Friday offer, my video didn't work.
Right.
At all. Ever. For the whole Black Friday.
Right.
I made like $10,000 on the Black Friday with a broken video.
Like failing forward is better than trying to figure out everything that could go wrong.
Exactly.
And so that was like a really cool like realization. And now I just do that with everything. Number 7, Facebook prices are increasing. I think in 2017, it more than doubled. Like my cost per click, my cost per result, all that stuff. Whichever way your customers are buying, be selling in that way, which I thought was pretty cool. Some people are like really, really committed to only doing cold email. Some people are really, really committed to only doing cold Facebook ads. And I'm like, well, people in my area aren't buying that way. I tried. I spent $1,000 trying to figure it out. Everybody's buying in person. So guess what? That's how I'm going to be selling. And then number 9, which I thought was like really, really important, probably the most important one. Your offer will always beat your ad. Your offer will always beat your ad. You can spend all the time, effort, and energy trying to create this amazing ad where the text is perfect and hire the most expensive copywriter. And if what that client is doing in exchange for money just sucks, isn't marketing competitive, and doesn't work, everything will bomb. Everything is kind of like a gorgeous car with an engine that doesn't work isn't a car. So offers will always beat ads.
So a question based off of that finding in 2017. How do you create offers for your clients?
So there's 2 paths. The first is saying, all right, Mr. Customer, when somebody comes in, what are you doing in exchange for money? And immediately they have no idea. Like they're just so used to doing the same exact thing, they don't understand what I'm asking. And it's not that I'm asking a weird question. Just nobody's
Very
ever
to the point. Yeah.
nobody's ever fucking asked them. So what are you doing in exchange for money? And if you ask the plumber, they're like, I'll fix some stuff. I go, no, like really walk me through it. Happened with my bike shop, my car wash, my massage spa was the only one that knew the answer. And that's probably because she's in corporate. She's been doing 15 years and has 5 locations. My restaurant had no idea. Nobody's asked them, what are you doing in exchange for money? And when they do have an answer, it's usually haphazard. They don't know it. They're coming up on the fly, and they're just pulling bad information. And so my bike shop was like, we look at the bike and we fix it. That's what he does in exchange for money. My car wash guy was like, I don't know. It's up on the board. That was his answer. Like, these people run businesses and I don't get it. And so what I had to do was say, no, talk to me as if I'm a child. Walk me through what you do every time somebody buys an inspection as detailed as possible. When I go to a car wash and I go to your car wash and give you $40, what are you doing? Tell me everything. And then we walk through it. We end up with like 6 to 10 things that they're doing. Like the bike guy did not know he's actually doing a 15-point inspection. Did not know he's doing a cassette check, gear check, and brake check. Didn't say to me that he's doing a wash that will get you race ready, all that stuff. And we ended up writing about 6 things. Guess what? That's now his offer. That's what he's doing in exchange for money. Just ask your client to be obvious and explicit and say, all right, what are you doing in exchange for money? Walk me through it like a child every step of the way. Usually it takes 2 or 3 times. Usually they get it wrong. And sometimes I actually go and I buy it and then I write down everything.
Is there a price threshold that you try to avoid? Like anything over $100, like avoid putting that out there as the first offer on the internet? So
with my first offer, I try to do $30-50 just to see what happens. But the more times I say that, the more times I'm proven it doesn't matter. It matters if that price is market competitive, is a good bang for your buck. So Steph, who's right there, sells what, like $150, $200. She sells 2 $20 packages, or $220 packages. Sells a $600 package on the internet, right? Like, just they buy it right there.
Too cold traffic.
Cold traffic. No
Wow.
Right. Like, what the hell? There's a guy in my mastermind who owns 2 dentist companies, dental offices. Anti-dentites. Yeah. That's a Seinfeld reference. And he just puts his prices on the internet. It's like 1,800 pounds. And he gets like 5 to 10 people a week saying, I'm in. Yeah. But that's because his offer is market competitive. And so I always try with my clients, stick with between $30 and $50 range. But every time I say that sentence out loud, I'm thinking of more and more ways why you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But baby steps it.
Yeah. So market competitive.
Just
more important.
Correct. Like having an offer will always beat an ad. If that first exercise totally bombs, I hate this. Go on Groupon, see what they're doing, bounce off your client, and then they go, yeah, we do that. I go, great. Can you do more? Like, can you do more for this $60? Get more obvious and explicit.
Sure.
Like consultations.
So it's not about lowering the price. It's more adding a bigger value stack.
It's almost never about lowering your price because your client is already taking a hit by hiring you. And then you're saying, all right, now take another hit by getting a discount. And what happens is immediately they've convinced themselves that A, it's not going to work, B, the leads are bad, C, these are just discount people, and D, it's not worth keeping you next month. And so this strategy, like discount strategy, may get you results, but it will not keep your client. And your lead generation strategy is different than your client retention strategy, right?
Right.
And so I'm totally okay with only getting like 1 sign up a day, 1 phone call a day, 1 customer walking in a day, and have that customer be profitable, then have 100 people signing up, and having my client believe that those are shitty people that are only discounts and blah, blah. Even if they're not, it doesn't matter. Because when he's telling his front desk to call, he's like, just call him back, blah, blah, blah. Versus, all right, we got a lead. Let's go get him. This is our one for the day. Let's make this happen. This person's going to pay me money. So the narrative is totally different. That's why I don't like doing discounts. And I try to just say, what are you doing normally? And let's make that obvious and explicit and tell everybody else.
Sure.
That type of idea.
Cool. Do we have any more points on 2017 recap?
No, I do have a 2018 sneak peek, though.
Ooh.
Right? Oh, I didn't do any of these. Oh, my God. This is so embarrassing. All right.
So actually, that's a good transition
Yeah.
into what you actually did in 2018. But your story is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 2016. You were living in the spare bedroom of your
Yeah.
parents' house.
Yeah. So in 2016, I got hired by my forever company. It was Ericsson, Dallas, Texas. I was their Lean Six Sigma sales and marketing tech guy. And so I would understand how systems works, like CRMs, lead generation, like everything that I do now, I was doing for them. And then I got fired in 9 months. My girlfriend broke up with me. She actually moved to India, right? That's how she broke up with me. She won't ever say it, but that's what happened, right? The car got returned. It was like a lease, so they took it back. And then my apartment was like, did you want to renew for a year? It's like, no. So I moved back home, an F ton of student debt, no job, back home into my parents' spare bedroom with no money. And I was essentially like, you get like a black mark on your resume. Like when your first job out of MBA school is less than 9 months and you got fired 3 times, not going to happen, right? And so I remember I was 30 years old. It was my birthday, and I was flying cross country to see if I could get my old job back in another company.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so that didn't work out.
No. That was only 2 years ago.
It was only 2 years ago. Yep.
So 2017, you started your agency.
Yeah.
And you grew that. You got past 10,000 per month.
Yes.
From your agency in 2017.
Correct. We peaked at 42,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
2017.
I did. Yeah. Because it was just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you started in January of 2017 with your agency, correct?
Yes.
And then how long did it take you to go from 0 to 10K a month with your agency?
I would say once I realized that nobody wanted to buy Facebook ads, probably 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But it took...
What month was that?
Oh, I don't remember. I do remember that it took 90 days. I mean, actually, let's just look it up on the timeline. It took me 90 days to get the idea smashed into my head that nobody wants to buy my Facebook ads.
It's that learning curve.
It's stupid. It shouldn't have to be that way.
Everybody goes through it, though.
This is the best thing. Why don't you want to buy it? You're dumb, not me. And it's like, no, that's... Like, imagine a plastic surgeon running up to you and saying, let me fix your face. You're like, fuck you. Like what? What are you talking about? I officially started my agency.
I hope you have that analogy written down. That's a really
Isn't that good?
One.
Isn't that great? So my Curious Student, which was Dan Henry's, that's the course that I took, was January of 2016. No, that's not true. January of 2017.
Yes.
Yeah. So January 2018 is when it went live. And so I started in January 2017, and then that was the first 90 days of just me being dumb. And then testimonial from Scott, my chiropractor, was June of 2017, and that's when I started hitting those numbers.
So it was good 6-7 months to get to that point where you're hitting a 6-figure run rate.
And then when that happened, it was dink, 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 dink. Like I must have gone from, and this is just me trying to remember, probably like 10K a month to 42K a month within like 2 or 3 months. Like
just that momentum.
Just everybody was like, yeah, this works. Let me send you money. I was like, okay, great. Yeah. Realizing now that that's the incorrect way. You need like step by step. You can't just rocket ship.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking venture capital funded firm. Right? And so I went from like 10K to 42, and then I fucked all those up, and then it bounces between like 20 and 35. Like, because I have some clients that turn on and off depending upon what they need. And we just signed a restaurant, massage spa. We're going to get another bike shop. He's going to 4 locations now, so he's just going to add on to his plan.
Nice.
I am chasing down the car wash guy again, and then we've got like 2 other people that have scheduled appointments in February.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you went from, 2016 was shitty.
Yeah.
To 2017, growing your agency, getting to a 42K month.
Yeah.
And then to 2018, where you've started still growing your agency and selling information products.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
This has been a pretty good year for you.
Yeah. I'm totally okay with people knowing my numbers. I think I'll just about break $375,000 for this year.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's me with like maybe me and a half, right?
Yeah.
And Ivy helps out a lot of stuff. But yeah, so 375 this year.
That's incredible.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I think the weirdest part was realizing that people will pay to learn what I already have figured out. Which I think is the same problem like doctors, dentists, and plastic surgeons and lawyers. Like, why would somebody like pay? I'll just like show them how to do it. Like, no, they don't have the managerial bandwidth. Like, imagine if a carpenter said, I'll show you how to just like, fuck you. I just want to pay you to do it.
Yeah.
And so that was like a big learning for me, learning to not be friends with my clients. Don't be best friends with your clients. This is an honest, dollar-driven relationship. Having students was a whole different thought process.
Interesting.
And I remember you came down in January.
Yep.
Something like that. And
Flew down to yell at you.
You're like, Jeff, I'm going to fucking yell at you for 45 minutes. I was like, no. Then you're like, yes. And then you did it. And then launched the beta at $997. It was surprising, like...
Beta course.
Beta course. Yeah. I was surprised at how like simultaneously proud and ashamed of it I was, right? Like nobody likes their first product, but you have to do that first one.
Yeah.
So we did the first one, and then we sold like 10, 20 people. They thought it was amazing. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was like, this fucking sucks. What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I started re-recording, remoduling, restructuring, all that stuff. I think I'm on like version 5 of my course.
Yeah.
And now it's something that I'm significantly proud of.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And like what's really cool is like the culture of the inner circle. And I think that's set by somebody who's in charge of the culture, which is like me right now.
Yeah.
It's like, here's everything. I'm just going to show you what to do. Let's talk and all that. And so people are contributing to it.
Mm-hmm.
A guy named John Williams who did a walkthrough of, it was 2 hours. He showed everything. Like he's in London. He has, I think, he's signing 2 to 3 carpet cleaners a week.
Wow.
And he's figured out how to run Facebook ads using a specific technique with the video audiences and all that, and getting into people's groups so you're only targeting carpet cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
So he just runs a certain ad, done. A guy named Nick Corum, who's based in Latin America, from Wisconsin, and visiting Miami, or he's coming to the ClickFunnels house, which will be pretty cool, and he does med spas. He's never talked to a client. He accidentally employs the same strategy. Yeah, and I think he went from like 15 to 30K.
Wow.
Because of like the customer research and the sneaky surveys and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you and I did an in-person event like right over there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was really cool. But yeah, it's been a really, really cool transformation.
Yeah, it's really cool. And you would have never gotten to that point if you just told your brain, if you didn't tell your brain to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
And just put that first course out there.
Steph, what did I tell your brain to do?
Shut the fuck up.
I do what I keep telling your brain to do.
Shut the fuck up.
Right? And it's like, it's super strange. Like, but the biggest reason why we're not successful is mostly because our brains think that if we do that, we will not survive. Like our brains are not good for thriving.
Yeah.
They're not good for agencies. They're not good in this world. They're not good with iPhones. They're not good at driving. They're not good at math. They're only good at surviving. That's it, right?
Yep.
And there's this like really weird misappropriation that we have in modern day society. And this is like super stupid, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, like every time we venture outside of our doors, our brain is realizing we're in a threatened scenario. Every time we go visit a client, learn something new, it's a threatening scenario. And so the first thing we want to do is not be threatened, to go back into our cave and survive. And so one of the t-shirts I got to make is like, tell your brain to shut the fuck up and go kill some bears. Like you have to get into hunting mode, right?
That's good.
And so like Ball Deep, who's very, very successful, he learned 2 or 3 things. James Cluster, very successful. He learned 2 or 3 things from the course. Brett Watts is going to do $25,000 in the February timeframe. Same thing. Motion, who grew from, he had to restart everything. He just hit 20,000 a month, all that. And I'm like, no, man, just tell your brain to shut the fuck up. You're allowed to feel that way. No big deal. Move forward anyway. And it simultaneously gives validation to the fact that we're not comfortable with it and moving forward anyway. And it's that survive and thrive, bear killing moment type thing. But till this day, I still feel my brain saying, fuck you, don't do it. Yeah. I just tell you, shut the fuck up and let me do it. And this is, okay, all right, fine.
I love that. I love that. I'm listening to this book on tape called Stealing Fire. Super interesting book. It's mainly about like, I probably should say, microdosing.
Yeah, probably.
And like being in altered mind states. And I never understood why people like jump out of airplanes.
Yeah, it seems horrible.
Like ride motorcycles. A motorcycle just passed me last night when I was Ubering home. It was going like 140, 160
super
miles per hour.
fast. Yep.
I'm like, those people are gonna die. Why the fuck do they do that? And like what this book was saying is it's shutting off their brain. Yeah. Like their brain is like just done. There's so much stimuli going on that they can't like just like think. They don't have that thought process going, right? They're just so involved in the moment and just loving that present moment. Yeah. And now I finally get it. I get why people jump out of planes and why they ride motorcycles really quick. It's because they make their brain shut up. That's awesome. Like immediately. That's from just doing that one thing.
That's so cool.
But yeah, little sidebar. But you run a really awesome Facebook group.
Yep.
Facebook Ads Agency Scaling Secrets.
What was funny is that first it was Agency Acceleration Secrets, but that was yours.
Yes.
That was your name, like AAS or something like that. And I kept fucking it up. And like I think like you were getting pissed, but I didn't mean to, or something like that. Or you just playing along?
You were going live on your personal page saying, "Hey, I'm coming out with this new course called Agency Acceleration Secrets." And I'm like, dude, I'm selling that product right now.
I'm like, man, damn it. And then our profile photos looked the same for a while, so that added more confusion. Your VA was like sending me messages. I was like, nope, wrong person. Yeah. But then I was like, oh man, that's right. It's Agency Scaling Secrets. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And then I hired Jeff Miniback to do the cover photo. And I set up the inner circle, and I put the cover photo on there, and I'm like, ball deep, I need a bench, join up. And he's like, okay, great. And he's like, hey, just so you know, your banner says ass. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, agency scaling secrets. I was like, fuck. Like you don't want your first best next step to look bad, right? And my brain was telling me that agency scaling secrets was bad, right?
Yeah.
Like ASS.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, that fucking sucks so much. But by then, I already had been getting like customers and sales and students. I was like, all right, we're just going to keep it. And like, comment was like, I know it says ass. I'll deal with it later, right? And it was okay because it was only like 20 people, right? And then in March, we're at ClickFunnels. And you're like, hey, man, you should have a group. And I'm like, nah, man. It already says agency scaling secrets. It's a butt. It's an ass. I don't want that. And then around that time, I was chatting with Arnie Giske, who runs the MEC. I think there's like 80,000 people. Mm-hmm. And Mark Levine, who's like very well known. I'm not even going into detail. But they were like, you should have the butt. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait, tell me. He's like, agency scaling secrets. Own it. Be it. And I was like, you guys are making fun of it. They're like, no, seriously, like you should do it. Yeah. It's like, okay, great. And at this point I was like, I'm gonna walk away, they're gonna make fun of it, but fine, let's fucking do it. So I adopted the butt, right? And I go on Google and I type in cartoon butt, and there it is right there. It's a walking lawsuit. I'm gonna have to get it replaced.
Is there a butt down there right next to you? Like, look down there.
There it is.
Yeah, you can show that off.
This is like one of the packing things, but yeah, this is like the butt. This is actually like the actual butt. And
it's so cartoon and so cute.
It's hilarious. Like, it is adorable, right? Like, the butt is perfect. And it was agency scaling secrets, quit working your butt off. And I got a picture of the butt, and I just dropped it on there. And for some reason, I chose the right Canva at the right time, and all the colors lined up. And I was like, holy shit, this could be real.
Yeah.
And there's been 100 to 200 people a day joining the agency scaling secrets group. It's the only group, like, on the suggested groups that is a picture of a butt. Everybody else has their face. I'm like,
yeah.
Mine's the butt. You can see it. I made T-shirts and everything. And because, like, I'm really into tribe and culture and going live, I'm the face behind the butt, which sounds even weirder. And then I got an
face behind the butt.
Right? Isn't that weird? And then Ivy sends me a message like 2 months ago, like, hey, there's this lady named Danny trying to get in touch with you, but she can't. I was like, I don't know who Danny is. So I had to go like message requests and then filtered messages. Mm-hmm. And I immediately thought it was like a Russian troll farm. Like, it's a somewhat attractive girl, teens, sparing posts. No way it's real.
Yeah.
But her message made some sense. Sure enough, I get invited to this like Facebook community boost thing. It's a totally real event. There's thousands of people. And I end up meeting Sheryl fucking Sandberg, like the COO of Facebook, because of the butt. Like, she knows of the butt. She saw the group. I have a picture with her, and I'm wearing the butt shirt. And all of it is because of you, Mark Levine, and Arnie Giske. You're like, adopt the butt. Adopt the agency scaling secrets.
How incredible is that? Now she's going back to Facebook and saying, I met this guy that has a group with a butt in his banner.
Yep.
Should we allow him to keep doing that?
Like, ah, shit. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But it's been really, really cool. And every time I go live, there's like 40, 50 people. Yeah. I've got an interview series. People think I'm a big deal because of the audience. I'm like, I'm just a normal person. I know what you're talking about.
Same here. Yeah.
And there have been people in Miami Beach that have like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, oh, is it the butt? They're like, what? I'm like, the Facebook group with the butt. And then they like get all excited with it. Yeah.
So funny.
And so it's been part of that.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Are we talking about your monastery thing?
Do we want to talk about that?
Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, we can talk about that. It was really cool. You should have come along. For the people that don't know, I went to a Buddhist monastery in San Diego for a week. Went out with my buddy J.R. Rivas, who went in July and said it was the most amazing experience of my life. And I'm like, what? Just sitting there is so amazing.
Being accidentally vegan.
Yeah. So it was really cool. All the monks there, very chill.
Yeah.
We played soccer with some monks. We ran with some monks.
Are they wearing the cape?
Robe?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said cape.
They think they're superheroes.
Yeah.
They have brown robes.
Yeah.
Most of them have shaved heads, but there are different levels to being a monk.
Uh-huh.
So there's some monks with brown robes, but they don't have shaved heads.
Yeah.
And then you have the regular monk you always see with the brown robes and the shaved head, and then the king monk, I don't know.
Has the most hair?
Dude, yeah. No, he doesn't have any hair, but has a different garb.
Yeah.
A little different. It was really cool. They were all chill. Breakfast, they had Nutella and like just all
they
these
had Xbox
toppings.
and they had like this little, they had the internet cafe.
We watched Kung Fu Panda one day.
Oh
and
my
they called
God.
it movie meditation. Which is
Okay,
so funny.
that's hilarious.
But it was awesome. Even I hate waking up early, but we had to wake up at 5:00 every morning. But even if you didn't want to wake up that early, you could have slept through it. They were that chill. But woke up at 5 every morning, meditated for 45 minutes, did walking meditation, did working meditation, which was like raking leaves and cleaning bathrooms. So
why is
they
it
make you?
It's just chores. Why is it working meditation?
You're supposed to embrace it and love the moment while you're doing it.
Right.
So like I had one monk tell me that I was raking too fast because I wasn't in the moment raking. And
right.
I'm like, oh, okay.
You're
cool.
like, I'll just go slower.
Yeah. And then walking meditation, and then we had a night meditation that was 30 minutes. A lot of eating, a lot of napping, no technology whatsoever.
Is this just like daycare? It sounds like daycare.
Crap, was that it?
I think
Did I pay $500 for a daycare for a
because
week?
from what I'm hearing is like you guys slept a lot, you had snacks, you had chores, and you watched a movie.
You just go back to kindergarten.
Is that what this was?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
go on.
So it was amazing. I don't think I can do it justice with how amazing it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
It was so beautiful. It took me out of my regular routine of being on electronics all day.
Right.
I felt way more calm. I noticed that I have a crap ton of thoughts in my head that I don't notice on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But when I was there, it kind of felt like the first 3 days my head was flooded.
Yeah.
And then it kind of slowed down.
Okay.
Like my brain slowly started to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And start just focusing on my breath. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Cool.
And I think the benefits are I find the benefits outside of that 1 week.
Yeah.
So
What
happened?
The camera died.
Oh, crap.
That was Brandon Becker, by the way.
Yeah, he told us to do that.
Come on, guys.
Okay. I think it's funnier this way. We cannot get anything right.
No.
Oh my god.
Remember, failing forward is better than over preparedness.
But failing 5 times in one
Episode
day.
7. How many splits and cuts and takes is this today?
Well, this is your second cut, but this is the 8th time you guys.
And I think we've shared the live videos about 12 times, so they're like
So that's like 27 times the engagement.
omnipresent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Russell Brunson does, right?
Yeah.
He just shares it everywhere and then fucks it up.
I think so.
I think that's what I would do.
Yeah. I mean, recycling content is so important, so maybe we should recycle all the fuck ups.
And then just blooper that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that would be great.
I think we can do that for a 25K program.
Just fuck up videos?
Just fuck up videos the whole way through. Just lots of fuck up videos. All right, so you were talking about the monastery and how your brain was calm and the camera died and we don't remember anything that you said.
Great.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
You asked a good question about people coming there.
Is that like the normal experience for everybody that goes? Like they have 3 days of the brain talking too much, it's unbearable, and by the 4th day you realize the noise just kind of stops?
I think it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop entirely at all. Our brains are always going. But I think people have very similar experiences.
Yeah.
And one guy who was there on a 90-day retreat.
That's a long time.
Yeah, he said around week 3 or 4, you just get into the flow.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of happens naturally, and everybody kind of has that experience when they're at the monastery meditating for 3-4 hours a day. It's just you get into the flow around week 3 or 4.
So there are people that live there.
Yes.
There are people that
monks that live there.
Monks their whole life.
Yes.
So what are their brains like? Like, is it always calm and serene? But then they see a car and freak out. Like, how do you manage the difference between, like, that calmness that you experienced while being in monastery?
Yeah.
Versus the life outside?
So you have monks there that have been there for 1 year. You have monks there that have been there for 20, 30 years. And their answers to your questions are completely different.
Yeah.
Like a decade of monkhood will change you as a person. Monkness.
Yeah.
So like the longtime monks are more present, more in the moment. And they kind of just answer like, I just am.
Yeah.
Like, I am in the moment. Like,
stop answering that way, Frank. You've always been saying that shit.
Exactly. So that is always their answer.
Don't try to fool me. You're from fucking San Diego.
All right. You're from San Diego. There was I know your backstory. There was a monk there, though.
I know your parents. Don't give me that bullshit. You've been here for 3.5 weeks.
You're raised.
Give me the I am already.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, he's only been there a few weeks. But there was a monk there that was an entrepreneur, owned like 3 different brick and mortar businesses.
Yeah.
And I got to ask him, hey, what do you miss most about running your businesses? And I expected him to say, not this answer, which was, he looked at me real seriously, and then I was like, money.
Yeah.
Like, he misses money.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like once you become a monk, everything goes away. You're totally present.
Yeah.
It's like anything else in the world, anything else that you're doing, there's levels to that stuff.
Yeah.
And you just got to do it over a long period of time. And then you finally become more present, more in the moment, more joyous, more happy.
Yeah.
JR asked a monk, why did you become a monk? Great question. And he just answered quality of life.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, you gave up everything to live a better life.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because in society, we don't think that way. We feel like if we have more, if we'll buy that happy. Next thing, we'll be more happy.
Yeah.
Which is totally external, when this monk was thinking totally internal about just being happy with himself, being not giving a crap about anything outside of him in terms of material possessions.
Correct. So this guy in particular, how long had he been monkhood?
He was probably 3, 4, 5 years.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a whole college experience of monks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and there are a bunch of monks that only stay like 5 years, and then they're out.
They
like,
only stay 5 years.
Yeah. Or like
only. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
They're going to say like 3 weekends or something.
Yeah. But like, you're not a monk forever, right?
Gotcha.
There was one, what was his name? So all of them had names. So they were like
Alex and Frank and
no,
John.
like Brother Embrace, Brother Peace.
Oh, okay.
So they had monk names like that. I forget what this one monk's name was.
Do you get to pick them?
I don't know.
What was your monk name?
I didn't get one. You need to be a monk to have a monk name.
Gotcha. Okay. You're just traveling through.
Yeah. But the monk was like, the Buddha just said, kind of use this as a raft. Use mindfulness, use meditation as a raft. Once you get across the river in the raft, don't carry it on your head to the next location.
Yeah.
Just like you leave it as it is.
Right.
And you can always come back to the raft to cross the river again if you want.
I really like that analogy. Like there was and this is a great Jeff reference. The most recent Star Wars, right? There's like Kylo Ren is like, just let the past die, kill it if you have to. Like be able and willing to like let stuff just fall off and go. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been able to like to be okay on this side of the newspaper building and not on that side of the newspaper building. Like over on that side, what did we do in the past? What has worked in the past? What have we tried? And I'm like, I don't care what you've tried. I'm going to try something different, and it fails. I'm going to let that failure die.
Yeah.
And most times nobody remembers your failures. Like nobody remembers how many times Michael Jordan missed, right? And so I like that. I really like the idea of just use the raft to get to where you want. And then you don't have to have 18 pairs of pants. You know, you can be happy with just 2 pairs of pants, you know, because mindfulness is from the inside.
Yeah. Are you trying to call me out?
No, that's right. How many pairs of pants do you have?
A lot more than 18.
Oh my God. How many outfits do you have with you today?
6.
You said that so quickly and so confidently.
That was 6 today on you.
6. In that backpack right now.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Does that mean I'm most happiest?
No.
Like, I have the least pants?
We're not happy.
No. We're fucking Facebook. Nobody's happy.
Exactly.
But yeah, I like the idea of like just use something and then like let it go. Mm-hmm. Like it's totally okay to like be sad and be happy and be frustrated and angry. It's fine. You're a human being. You're allowed to use that wrath to get to where you want. And then just be willing to say, great, got me here. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
so I thought
exactly.
that was pretty cool.
Let things go.
Yeah. Say what?
Use a pair of pants, let it go, buy new ones.
That is a great idea. I can just throw out all my pants. Oh, I only have 2. Never mind.
That's all you need.
Yeah, just 2 pants, Monday and Friday. What else did we want to go over? Goals for 2018?
2019.
2019.
Dude. Yeah, time's moving fast.
Yeah.
But things are changing a lot. Like 2016, you're living in your parents' house. 2017, grew your agency. 2018, grew
a lot.
Oh, crap ton.
30,000 people in a group.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Growing your audience.